The climate of Houston is classified as humid subtropical. August normally ranks as the warmest month at 84.6 degree Fahrenheit and January the coldest month at 53.1 degree Fahrenheit. The normal annual precipitation measures 49.77 inches. Occasional severe weather of Houston mostly takes the form of flooding. Supercell thunderstorms sometimes bring tornadoes to the area, most commonly during spring. Houston sometimes experiences tropical cyclones during the Atlantic hurricane season, which can bring heavy rain and significant damage to the city. The last hurricane to hit was Hurricane Ike in 2008. Seasonal observation. Summer June through August in Houston is very hot and humid, often with scattered afternoon showers and thunderstorms. At George Bush Intercontinental Airport, the normal daily high temperature peaks at 95.0 degree Fahrenheit on August 12, with a normal of 102.4 days per year at or above 90 degree Fahrenheit and 3.5 days per year at or above 100 degree Fahrenheit. The average relative humidity ranges from over 90% in the morning to around 60% in the afternoon. The temperatures in the summer in Houston are very similar to average temperatures seen in tropical climates, such as in the Philippines and Central America. The values of relative humidity result in a heat index higher than the actual temperature. The highest temperature ever recorded at George Bush Intercontinental Airport was 109 degree Fahrenheit on September 4, 2000 and on August 27, 2011. On June 29, 2013, the temperature at George Bush Intercontinental Airport reached 107 degree Fahrenheit, the highest ever recorded in June. Heat stroke can strike people who stay outdoors for long periods of time during the summer, making hydration essential for outdoor work and recreational activity. The 2014 summer season did not yield 100+ degree weather in response to the monsoon-esque rainfall during late June to August. Heat and humidity of Houston make air conditioning important in day-to-day life. Most indoor workers spend the hottest part of the day in air conditioning. After World War II, air conditioning stimulated the growth of Houston, called the most air-conditioned city in the world in 1950. For construction workers, landscapers, and others who must work outdoors, there is little relief from the summer heat and humidity. Industrial workers, automobile mechanics and others who usually work in non-air-conditioned indoor spaces often rely on large electric fans to provide some relief. Autumn in Houston is warm, with temperatures averaging in the upper 60s to lower 80s degree Fahrenheit during the day and in the 50s to lower 60s degree Fahrenheit at night. Cool fronts that move through the region during the fall can bring rain. Hurricanes can move into the area from the Gulf of Mexico, bringing heavy rains and high winds. However, most years see little or no significant hurricane activity. Flooding most frequently occurs in October and November. The latest hurricane to reach Texas was Hurricane Ike. Winters in Houston are relatively mild and temperate compared to most areas of the United States, though more prone to extreme variation in the winter months than cities like San Diego, California or Tampa, Florida. The average high in January, the coldest month, is 62.9 degree Fahrenheit and the low 43.2 degree Fahrenheit. George Bush Intercontinental Airport sees an average of 9.6 days per year of freezing temperatures. Cold fronts during the winter drop nighttime lows into the 30s but usually above freezing. The coldest weather of the season often includes a period about 3 weeks with temperatures in the low 30s to mid-40s. Hard freezes occur only uncommonly. However, George Bush Intercontinental Airport has recorded a freeze every winter since it opened in 1969. The coldest temperature ever recorded at George Bush Intercontinental Airport was 7 degree Fahrenheit on December 23, 1989. Elsewhere, the temperature in Houston dropped to 5 degree Fahrenheit on January 18, 1930. In December, southward moving cold fronts can bring cold rain, low wind chills, freezing rain, and, rarely, frozen precipitation. Early January is the coldest time of the year, with temperatures moderating slightly by February. Spring comes with a gradual warm-up from winter, lasting from March 20 through May. Temperatures are generally not hot yet, averaging from 75°-82 degree Fahrenheit in the day and 56°-64 degree Fahrenheit at night. Spring thunderstorms are common, often with spectacular lightning shows. This rainfall prompts Houston's 10-month-long growing season to begin. April sees the return of many types of insects, including butterflies and mosquitoes, to return to Houston's warm climate. Precipitation, rainfall is the most common form of precipitation in Houston. The wettest month is June, with 5.93 inches of rain. Houston normally receives 49.77 inches of precipitation on 104.0 days annually. The most precipitation to fall in one year was 72.86 inches, which occurred in 1900. Houston has received less than 20 inches of rain only once, 17.66 inches in 1917. Flash flood warnings are common all year, and due to the flat landscape, heavy rains often threaten life and property in the city. Sea breeze showers, which are monsoon-like, are common throughout the Texas Gulf Coast despite Houston being 50 feet above sea level. The sea breeze showers are also a contributor to the North American monsoon. Sleet, snow, and ice rarely occur at all during most winters. Hail can accumulate yet only in small quantities. Extreme weather, Houston has occasional severe weather, mostly flooding. Hurricanes that have the potential to landfall bring severe damage to the area. There have been approximately 7 major hurricanes to hit the Galveston and Houston areas in the past 100 years. 4 have done significant damage to Houston. Hurricanes and tropical storms because Houston is on the Gulf of Mexico, the city has a small chance of being hit by hurricanes or tropical storms every hurricane season. In 1837 the Razors storm passed just to the south of the town, raising water levels 4 feet. The Great Hurricane of 1900 destroyed the nearby city of Galveston, which is situated on a barrier island 50 miles southeast of downtown Houston. That hurricane weakened to a tropical storm by the time it reached Houston. The periphery of Hurricane Carla hit the city in 1961, causing major damage to Houston. At the time of landfall, Carla was the most powerful tropical system to hit the Texas coast in over 40 years. In 1983, the city was struck squarely by Hurricane Alicia, causing $1 billion damage to the city during a down period in the city's economy. The most destructive and costly natural disaster in Houston history was Tropical Storm Allison of 2001, which dumped up to 37 inches of rain on parts of the city over a 5-day period. Area flooding was catastrophic and widespread. The storm completely overwhelmed the flood control system and caused 22 deaths in Houston and $6.05 billion in damage. It is the only tropical storm in history to have its name retired. Tropical Storm Erin made landfall in August 2007 with strong rains. A total of 9 inches of rain fell elsewhere than George Bush Intercontinental Airport on August 16 and many roads and neighborhoods were flooded. Metropolitan Transit Authority of Harris County, Texas, halted its light rail and bus services in view of the effects. 4 deaths in the city were attributed to the storm. The Houston Fire Department reported 72 rescue operations. Hurricane Ike made landfall near Galveston, Texas in September 2008. Although only a Category 2 storm, Ike brought moderate rain but high winds for an unusually long duration. The roof of Reliance Stadium was damaged and windows were blown out of several high-rise buildings in downtown Houston. Storm surge affected areas around Galveston Bay, stripping some coastal islands of homes. Devastated Galveston Island much resembled a war zone. Authorities prohibited non-emergency access to the island for many weeks. Hurricane Ike left 90% of people in the Houston area without power. Never before had the city experienced such widespread or long-term power outage, no air conditioning, no refrigeration, no lights, and no phones. Day-to-day business slowed immensely. Area grocery stores were stripped bare and sold water and ice for cash by flashlight. Trucks from around the country brought in emergency supplies, especially water and ice. Most of the city was without power for a week, some for 2 to 3 weeks. Flooding. Flooding is a recurring problem in Houston. It is especially severe in low-lying areas on the far east end of town along the San Jacinto River. The flat wetlands and paved-over coastal prairie around Houston drains slowly and easily floods. The area is drained by a network of bayous and man-made drainage ditches. Due to the ubiquity of overdevelopment and the huge amounts of concrete, drainage is insufficient during times of especially heavy rainfall. In fall, cool fronts bring in rainstorms and flooding is not uncommon. This might flood certain low-lying intersections, but doesn't generally affect citizens or the business of the city. However, occasionally very heavy thunderstorms dump so much water on the city that widespread congestion and even property damage in low-lying areas results. Tropical Storm Allison in 2001 was so severe that many parts of town that had never flooded before were flooded seriously. Interstate 10 near downtown, which is below grade, was covered by over 10 feet of water. Another record happened in May 2015 that had a similar impact on Houston, causing several highways to be closed due to the bayou overflowing. Tornadoes. Unlike Dallas, Houston is not in Tornado Alley. Smaller tornadoes can occur during severe weather. They are most likely to be found along frontal boundaries of an air mass during the spring months. Tornadoes in Houston usually measure a weak F1 on the old Fujita scale, and cause light to moderate damage to well-constructed buildings. The strongest recorded tornado in Houston history was an F4 on November 21, 1992, part of a large outbreak of tornadoes in Harris County. Winter storms. There are usually a few days of freezing,